Hi, I'm Greg Hunter. This is the weekly news wrap up for Friday, August 14th, 2015, the WNW 203, and Hillary Clinton is in big trouble with her server, her private server that she used while she was Secretary of State. Now, it's reported that she has finally given in to demands. She has given her server over to the FBI. It's also reported that the server was professionally wiped clean. She was legally required to keep this intact. That's also been reported. ABC News, adding insult to injury, is out with a story that says, that she was looking for ways to, looking for books on how to delete something so it stays deleted. Tips. This is a tip in one of the books. How to delete something so it stays deleted. And wiping the server clean is not going to make this story go away. Absolutely, positively not. Now, the allegations are that she mishandled classified and also top secret documents that she and the people surrounding her at the State Department. And in one instance, they even removed the words top secret while they had it at the State Department, allegedly, and sent it to Hillary Clinton's server, where that server, was not a secure location. Absolutely, positively not. Many stories and many people have alleged that, foreign spy agencies certainly hacked that server. And this is a big deal. Why? There isn't more of a key position that reacts with all the branches, the top branches of the government. I mean, the State Department, Secretary of State, reacts with the White House, the CIA, the NSA, the Department of Defense. That includes the Pentagon, the FBI. She also sends emails to embassies around the world, whether there's 70 or 80,000 people work in the State Department. So it's a critical position. And the allegations that what happened to emails in her possession with her private server are stunning allegations of criminality, also cover-up. They include also her staff that may be involved in a cover-up, also that there could be conspiracies. It's stunning. Now, she denies all these allegations. She says she did nothing wrong while she was Secretary of State. But I'll tell you, it's the evidence that she did do something wrong seems to be mounting. Now, there is no criminal investigation on her, but this is not good when the FBI comes knocking on your door and they get your server. Even if it's wiped clean, that's not going to cut it. There are ways to find emails and find what got wiped and the, subpoenas for the people who wiped it clean and why'd you do it and who gave you the orders to do so and where are there backup, servers? Are there backup, things on your, they'd have to have some backup. Supposedly it was professionally managed at one point. So, listen, numerous allegations of criminal conspiracy surrounding this growing scandal. I was listening to Judge Napolitano, Andrew Napolitano, talking about the enormous legal problems she has, surrounding this. This is not going to go away, and I got to tell you that I have long said that one way or the other, Hillary Clinton's not going to be president at some point. Do the Democrats just say, okay, enough? Now she's still leading in the polls, but she's been knocked way down. And this is far from over. And could you imagine Bernie Sanders or Martin O'Malley on the stage with her, dogging her over this? And the other thing that I wanted to point out is you hear the Democrats saying that, it's the Republicans that are doing this. Whoa, wait a minute, hold on. You know where this story originally first came from, right? The White House, Valerie Jarrett. Do you think Valerie Jarrett did this on her own without checking with Barack Obama? Do you think that it came up while they were having a cup of coffee one day? It's, oh, by the way, Hillary Clinton, the Democratic front runner and the supposed Democratic nominee for president. Yeah, I released information that she had a private server at her home. It was okay, right? You think she surprised him? This came from the Obama White House, along with the story about her, the Clinton Foundation, the charity with allegations of bribery and play to pay and all that. Another story that came from the Obama White House. This did not come from the Republicans, this email server scandal. And I want to remind you of General Petraeus. He had a cop to a felony. He had a stack of papers in his desk. He didn't have a private server. He didn't take the words top secret off them. He didn't send them to anybody. He did let his biographer, who he was sleeping with, look at them, but there was no real breach. I mean, the allegations that a serious national security breach has occurred on multiple levels are out there. I mean, Snowden, he is hiding out in Russia for revealing the shenanigans and the wrongdoings and the bulk data collection, which Snowden did a service to the country. Well, I think it's safe to say Hillary Clinton did a disservice to the country. I'll bet you China knows what was on that server. I'll bet you Russia knows what was on that server. This is not going to go away. And I said that, listen, if President Obama wanted a real issue, he has one with this. Petraeus had to cop to a federal charge, a felony. He got 2 years probation. He could have ended up in jail. He paid a $100,000 fine for a stack of papers in his desk. And Hillary Clinton can hand the FBI a, quote, professionally wiped server and, oh, well, that was just some emails about my daughter's wedding and yoga and whatever she said it was. Preposterous. Outrageous. If he ever wanted a reason to dunk her, he has a legitimate reason to do so. And maybe just pressured to do so. And, if she keeps following the polls, maybe the Democrats might say, yeah, maybe we need Bernie Sanders or Martin O'Malley. And I think this happens earlier than late. They're not going to wait till, a month before the election and lower the boom on her. They're certainly not going to do that. Hillary Clinton will not be president of the United States. Neither she nor we deserve it. China has devalued its currency, and boy, you talk about the world slowing down. This is a double whammy. It says, oil, yuan, pummel market, but yuan. They lowered their currency the first time in a near record devaluation, the worst devaluation they had in somewhat 2 decades, and then they did it again, Remember, we were told by the mainstream media it was a one-and-done affair? Well, no, not so much. No, not a one-and-done affair. It looks like a trend to me. Why are they doing this? Listen, their economy is in trouble. We had Andy Hoffman on here from Miles Franklin. He said, wow, the data from China in July was awful, terrible. Their economy's tail spinning. So what are they going to do? Quick, let's devalue our currency and try to export our way out of this. And, of course, you've been told that, it's not really going to hurt the United States. Really? It's not? Well, let's see. The top 3 export states, Washington State, California, and Texas, just those 3 states do $45 billion in trade with China. And everything they send them just got more expensive. And it looks like it's a trend. And what's the United States going to do? I don't think we're going to raise interest rates unless they intentionally want to crash the economy. Let me just show you a couple of things here that I pulled off the internet. This is a pie chart. You see this right here, this big blue thing? That's America's debt. See this little piece right here? That's China's debt. That's China's debt. You can focus in on that. Hopefully you can see it. That's China's debt. So the biggest debtor in the world is the United States. Now, this could make the dollar stronger. What's the United States going to do? And how is China devaluing their yuan? Well, they're selling treasuries. Who's buying those treasuries? Well, that'd be the Federal Reserve. They either buy them or they default on it. China is the largest or second largest economy in the world, depending on whatever metric you'd like to use. It's a huge economy. Listen, if Argentina did this, they've made it a national sport. China, big deal. This is going to put pressure on everybody. And they didn't just do it once or twice or 3. This is a trend. And I think they have to take this risk because on the other side, they have to worry about social unrest in China with 1.3 billion people, and they can't get 2, 3, 400 million of them all really angry and out of work and starving. They have to try to do something. And I think it is just, the big picture, the world economy is slowing down. Listen, if the big manufacturer in the world isn't selling enough products, that means people aren't buying enough products. And they're going to try to make their products cheaper. Well, that means the whole world is in this tailspin. And the biggest problem in the world is not just overcapacity or oversupply or interest rates, or it's too much debt. We grew our debt by 40% from 2008. They tried to fix the debt problem by adding enormous amounts of more debt. And they had to roll over the debt. Next week I have Hugo Salinas Price on. And he'll be talking about that, along with Gregory Mannarino. He'll also be talking. This is a big move, a big deal. One thing is for sure, and I just wanted to show you this too. This is one other thing about the economy slowing down. And here's the other big trend. And look at this right here. This is 2008, and this is the people with jobs, the people in the workforce. And look at the trend for these jobs. They created all these jobs, but this is the 93 million people right down here. The record amount of people out of the workforce, right down here. How do you like that trend? That trend is just going, well, nearly straight down. People losing their job, people leaving the workforce. I just wrote in here 2008, but that's the 2008 little thing. And since Obama took office, these jobs people left the workforce. I mean, net, according to John Williams, that really now more people are working now than before. Actually, they lost some jobs. People are leaving the workforce. They're no longer counted in the unemployment rate. And it is, and the markets are completely controlled. This is what happened when we had that big 300-point swing. I just want to show you this on a graph. Look at what happened. Here, it opens up the markets, straight down, boom, 300 points, and then it comes back up, 300 points. You think that was a little market manipulation, a little plunge protection team action? You think that just happened all on its own? This is outrageous. Who would buy after a straight down 300-point dive? How long can they do this for? I don't know. The U.S. government is powerful. We have, narco money in the background. Who knows how much gold we really have, that we got from World War II. How much stuff can they do criminally with the banks? Not a single banker has gone to jail because I think they're doing the bidding of the U.S. government. It's a concerted effort of propping up this debt bubble. But I think there are limits even for the U.S. government to prop this all up. And the biggest debtor out there, the United States of America, what are they going to do to combat this trend of devaluing the yuan and everybody else devaluing their currency? Are we going to raise rates in September like they've been promising they'll do? And what happens when they say, yeah, no, the economy's too weak, we're not going to raise rates? Then what happens to the dollar? Does it devalue on its own? Does it crash? What happens? The Chinese devaluing the yuan and doing it in multiple stages is not good news. It's a sign of things getting better, it's a sign of things getting worse, I should say, not getting better. Secretary of State John Kerry says if the Iran nuclear deal is not passed by Congress, the United States could lose its world reserve currency status. That's rich, isn't it? You cut a terrible deal. You don't understand what's in the deal. He said to Congress, I cannot make this up, I kid you not, that they did not have access to the final agreements in the side deal with the UN inspectors. Remember the Obama administration saying that this isn't going to hinge on trust, it's going to hinge on verification. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's in the verification? What's in the side deal with the UN inspectors? Well, I don't have access to it. Excuse me, you're the lead negotiator on a historic nuclear reduction deal with Iran, and you don't know what's in the final agreements? You don't know what's in the side deals with the UN inspectors that are going to be the linchpin of this deal? You don't know? And you don't really know about that, and it's not looking like a bad deal, but you better pass it anyway. You should have cut a better deal, John Kerry. I mean, and then most of the deal is being kept secret, because it's such a good deal. Secret from the public. Unclassified information is being treated like classified information. The public doesn't get to see it. And the other thing I said last week, I said, I don't see how Chuck Schumer, one of the ranking senators in New York, I don't see how Chuck Schumer votes for this deal. And what did he do the next day? Came out and said he's not voting for it. Now, why would he just keep his mouth shut until the day they voted for it, and then and take all the grief from the Obama administration and all that? Why would he come out now, who he is the presumptive new minority leader in the Senate after Harry Reid leaves? Why would a guy in a Democratic leadership position come out early and say, no way, I'm not voting for it? Think he might want to sway some other Democrats? And then we have this news where supposedly some Iranian generals have broken, these restrictions where they shouldn't be traveling outside the country, and let alone traveling to Russia. And Russia traveling to Iran. Oh, that's going to help pave the way for the deal with the Democrats in the Senate and the House. Lots of Democrats are going to vote no on this, and it seems like with John Kerry, well, if you don't vote for it, the dollar will cease to be the world's reserve currency. And I wonder if he's just setting up a blame game here already. They know the dollar's days are numbered. They know we're going to have terrible economic happenings. I've been talking about it on this side. Other people have been talking about it. I've had all kinds of very experienced people, from best-selling authors to people manage hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Wall Street experts all say this is unsustainable. It's going to blow up. We just don't know when. Well, maybe they know when. Maybe they know it's sooner than later. And they have to pull out the blame game card and blame the Republicans for crashing the economy because, well, they didn't vote for this crappy Iran deal. Well, he better get ready to blame some Democrats as well. Because it's looking more and more like this is going to pass for sure through the House and Senate. But Obama's going to veto it. And it's looking more and more like the House and Senate will override that veto. That's what it looks like to me, that they're going to override that veto. And I can't believe he admitted. I heard him say it. We don't have access, to the final agreement. We don't have access to the UN side deals. What? Preposterous, outrageous. Kerry's a buffoon, an imbecile, a liar, or all three. I don't know, but that's preposterous. I can't believe Congress even let him get away with that. And I want to just kind of keep hitting this thing because, after all, Planned Parenthood is looking like it's cutting up baby body parts. And here's how the left, this is from my ultra-liberal rag, Greensboro News and Record newspaper that hasn't even been covering this story, and lo and behold, they have an op-ed piece about how fetal tissue has made, wait, let me get it in here, there we go. Fetal tissue has made a positive difference. If they could focus in, there you go. Yeah, fetal tissue has made a positive difference. Yeah, they got to call it fetal tissue. No, it's baby body parts. It's not just fetal tissue made a positive difference. That's so outrageous. That's like saying, Joseph Mengele made a positive difference by experimenting on people in concentration camps and cutting their eyes out and dunking them and putting in cold water to see how long they could, sustain the cold and operating on them and killing them. But he made some positive scientific differences. It's gross. And it's illegal, criminal. It's immoral. And don't take it from me. Take it from a Democrat. This is Kirsten Power's op-ed piece in the USA Today, which I'm surprised they put it in this week. I've got news for Democrats. It's a baby. And she writes a scathing op-ed piece. And remember, this is not some wacko, far-right, neoconservative. This is a Democrat. And she writes this news. I got news for Democrats. It's a baby. And she finishes her article about a Planned Parenthood doctor that mumbles under her breath as she's talking about cutting up baby body parts. It's a baby. You should read this. You should find this on the USA Today website and read this. It's a scathing op-ed, which I'm surprised. Another publication that has a scathing op-ed about a story they haven't even covered. Or they buried it on their website. They certainly have it covered in the paper. I read it cover to cover every day. It certainly wouldn't put it in the sports section or the life section. I read it cover to cover every day. This is how they're covering it. It's far from over, let me tell you. Well, that's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting USA Watchdog with your comments. Got a lot of smart people out there. Some people write some brilliant stuff. I learned stuff from the comments myself. Thank you very much for your support and your donations. That helps us. Fear not. Prepare yourself physically, mentally, and above all, spiritually. Fear not.